Another day, another dollar. It's O.T.G. OTGdaily.news. OTGhelps.com. Supplythework.com. I'm O.T.G. That's overtime grind. Rain, sleet, snow, sunny. Every day is Monday. Hard work pays off. We don't know when it's going to pay off, but it's going to pay off sometime, man. We're going to hop right into it, man. It's a lot of clout chasing going on. A lot of misinformation going on. And just a lot of bullshit going on. And it's really just because we're in a time now, we got this pandemic. I mean, it's been going on beforehand, but I've seen this shit ramp up to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? I see a lot of older cats and older people and people in the rap game doing shit that we would have never thought that they would do. We see a lot of people having conversations and doing different things that we would have never imagined that they would be into. You know what I mean? We got time because a lot of people are home, and because even if you're personally not home, other people are home and they have time, more time than they usually have. And because they got more time, that means they're not working as much. And if you're not working as much, you're not getting as much money. And if you're not working towards something, then, you know, sometimes people start destroying something. So what we're seeing is a lot of people's legacies and things that they build and starting to look shaky and look weird, and finding out information from 30 years ago. And it's a lot of conversation from sensationalized headlines and different things like that. And I just want y'all to be careful, because it's kind of hard to be able to separate what's real and what's fake. But there's a lot of keys and little small things that you could look forward to. I mean, you could look to see if this is one of those situations, you know what I mean? And a lot of this is just urban entertainment, because black people, our poverty rate is a lot higher than the average person. I mean, that a lot of other people in America, we hate to admit it, but that's just the truth. And forms of entertainment, which kind of have leveled the playing field in 2020, has just been shit that is necessity. So, you know, now the phone is pretty much a necessity, because we don't got house phones anymore. So pretty much everybody's got a smartphone now, giving them access to entertainment on their phone that is essentially free or less than $10. You know what I'm saying? And you know, not a lot of people are watching TV. Not a lot of people are paying for cable. So that means you're not getting advertised to through traditional means, newspaper, commercials, you know, even movies. Like most things people are getting right from YouTube. The power to be able to Google anything and look it up is making a lot of people feel like, you know, they're in a place where they could give these informational videos about certain people and certain things and content, you know what I mean? And there's people out there, a lot of people out there just trying to do their best to cover niche content, you know, have people stay for a while and watch the videos, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, once one thing kind of catches flame, people kind of just stay on that path and stay on that wave. You know what I mean? And what tends to happen now is they submerge themselves in a certain kind of content, and it may not even be content that they actually come from, content that they support, or information that they even really care about. They just kind of doing it because it's an extra income. And in 2020, it's becoming a lot of people's main income, because, as I was saying earlier, for the urban community, we pretty much have access to a laptop, a phone. You know what I mean? Like, and from there, we build it up. You can make a video on your phone talking about what's going on in your neighborhood and the street rules and shit that you learned around your way and the OGs around your way. You probably know somebody who's funny, somebody who's rapping, a girl that looks all right. And now you got a girl doing videos. You got a nigga that's rapping. You got somebody shooting the videos from the phone. Like, we pretty much base a lot of our entertainment around things that are, I don't want to say a laptop and a phone is a necessity, but kind of in 2020 it is a necessity. You know, once we think about kids using Zoom to go to school, you know what I'm saying? We kind of base our entertainment and stuff around there. Even when you think about basketball, you know, to watch it is free. It comes on these nationwide channels. Football, same. Baseball, same. You know what I mean? The play them is essentially kind of cheap. All you need is a basketball and space. You know what I mean? Same with football. All you need is a field and a football and a couple guys want to play. So when you think about the things that we do and how we do them, and it's because this is what we have access to. And now we think about being in a pandemic and a time where millions of people are filing for unemployment every month now for months, when outside still isn't safe, and we have a bunch of time on our hands. Now you get people, especially when people are spending 4 hours on FBI, Facebook, and Instagram. You know what I mean? What we got now is the cops don't even got to do their job no more. Really kind of think about that. How much police work are the police actually doing now in most cities? Most cities, all they got to do is just follow the Instagram, and you could put 2 and 2 together from there. Like, I'm sure right now on my YouTube, it's probably somebody going to watch this video who's a cop, affiliated with the police, some shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm sure that there's probably a white supremacist going to watch this shit who's affiliated with it and something like that. And they not going to like or dislike. They not going to comment. They not going to say nothing. It's just going to be one of the many views that this video gets. And so with that thought process, you know what I mean? And with the thought process of everything kind of has to be, organized and everything has to be stored. You know what I mean? So when you think of all of this stuff, like when you think of the cell phones back in the day, it still happens now. You just go online, you're online billing. You could have every single number that you text, because you sent out a text, it was outgoing and incoming from your phone. People don't really think about that with the internet. So when you think about Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all of these other social media sites, it's outgoing and incoming. Outgoing and incoming. You send a photo out, it posts it on the website. You get the service in, every time you look at it and refresh, you get another feed coming into your phone. When you like something, that goes out. When you send a comment, that goes out. When somebody comments to you, that comes in. Each like comes in. So when you think of outgoing and coming in, and you think about this cycle, and you think about people just kind of being addicted to what's incoming, the income, social income, the likes, the views, the comments, the attention, spending time taking your head off, being in your situation when there really isn't an answer and there really is no clear-cut time frame of when shit's going to go back to normal, if it's ever going to be normal. When you got people watching other people's channels and different other people's social media and different things of that nature, and you got people saying, oh, okay, that's getting views, I'm going to speak on it too. And they just building off what this person says versus trying to give you an outtake or a clear-cut way for you to choose a side or have some extra information about it, you know what I mean? Like, we just kind of are in this clout chasing time, and it's disguised as media. And you know, there are people that's doing real media, and we're not going to call it journalism. We're just going to say people who are passionate about the things that they're talking about and just generally want to have discussion. And, you know, if it gets 5 views or it gets 5 million views, they still going to be the same with the content and how they delivering it, because it speaks to the integrity of their character. Then you got people out here who's just, you know, interviewing anybody and everybody, and I don't even want to be the guy to talk bad about it, because that's not really who I am as a person. Like, I don't really like trying to expose people and their hustles and different things, but I do worry about young people watching motherfuckers who's not real and watching people glorify shit that's not good and trying to emulate that as a thorough way to be. You know what I mean? And that's really why we having this conversation, is because, you know, the last week or so, I've seen all kinds of people trying to have conversations on this and on that. You know, I did a video about JoJo Capone and MC8, and I'm reading the comments, and I'm just seeing it fucking snowball into some whole other shit. And when I go watch other people's videos, I'm watching them just outright calling this nigga a snitch, outright calling this nigga, saying he went and stood on the stand, watching all this other shit. You know, to be honest, I don't really give a fuck about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's part of why I do these videos too, because in reality, like, I don't really care about either one of them. Like, out of vicinity, I know JoJo Capone because I'm from the Midwest, and I'm always going to support Illinois people. Always, always, always. Now I live in Philadelphia. I'm always going to support Pennsylvania people. Always, always, always. So I've been plugged into what JoJo Capone is doing, but I ain't really know what MC8 was doing. So it was just kind of shocking. And when I start to hear the details, I feel like somebody snitched. If it wasn't him, somebody did. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's not really on me or my business. It's really on me to take the news and the story that's happening and break it down to the best of my ability, not just so much for right now. Like, I got a 4-year-old daughter and I got another one on the way. Like, in the future, part of having social media and having these YouTube channels and things like that is you kind of leaving something behind, and some of these lessons and things that you talk about genuinely might help somebody. And my kids, I don't know what's going to happen to me. I pray I live a long life to see them both grow. But even at the time when it's time for me to go, I feel like it's gold for them to be able to come back and see videos like this and see and hear from their dad, you know what I mean, about a bigger picture. They're not going to give a fuck who these people is, you know what I mean? They just going to be looking for the message overall. And that's what I feel like, you know, when I feel like motherfuckers not clout chasing, I feel like it's about them trying to deliver a message that's got some kind of weight to it and can really hit somebody, and they could hold on to that. And it don't necessarily gotta be today. It could be tomorrow. It could be a year from now. But then you got people that's just making right now content, and they slanderous with how they talking about people. You know what I mean? They talking about street shit very recklessly, like they prepared and ready. If one of those guys, either JoJo Capone or MC8, saw them in real life, they would be prepared to handle whatever the fuck they was ready to bring down on them, because these niggas is talking super greasy, you know what I mean? Like, I had somebody in one of my comments say that, you know, you try to articulate yourself well. I definitely do, because the streets are real. The pandemic is real. 2020 is real, and motherfuckers is feeling some kind of way right now. It's really, really real. Violence outside is up. Violence against kids is up. Domestic violence is up. And suicide is up. Motherfuckers is going through it, and they don't really know how to deal with it. And if you're going to be smart about survival and anything that you ever do, the number one way to start being on a better path to making sure you fucking live is minding your own business and speaking about motherfuckers when you speak about something articulately, clearly, and carefully. Because if a motherfucker ever can rewind the tape, then when they talk to you, not only can you go back to that moment and know exactly what you was thinking because you tried to articulate yourself clearly, but two, they'll probably talk to you and hear you out, or understand where you're coming from, because they'll see you just not a motherfucker over here just running off at the mouth, just saying anything. You know what I mean? Like, I seen motherfuckers trying to tell JoJo Capone he gotta fucking apologize. Like, bro, who is you to even demand some shit like that? Like, you not no fucking body. Like, that's between them two niggas. That nigga thinks he snitched, and that nigga snitched to him. And if MCA said he didn't do it, then he didn't do it to him. And niggas gotta figure that shit out. When they figure it out, we just get to watch it. Some of you niggas want to gas it. Some of you niggas is out here talking like y'all that bull and y'all could really challenge and do some things. And then some people just try to moderate and narrate for the young niggas that's watching, like watching a Tyson match, or watching, better yet, like watching a Mayweather fight and seeing how Mayweather getting everybody hit, and then for the first 7 rounds, all they trying to do is knock Mayweather out, and by round 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, he just started putting the hands on these niggas. Then he always win on the cards. So it's no different than you sitting on the side telling your young folks and telling niggas, yo, don't go in there and try to knock this nigga out in 7 rounds. You gotta pace yourself. You see what they did right there? That was a mistake. Ain't nothing wrong with coaching. What I consider myself is a coach to some degree. You know what I mean? I'm going to help you and coach you through some shit. I'm going to tell you how to survive and make it through this shit. I'm going to tell you how to boss up and get yourself together and go through some things, because I already went through them, and I'm still going through them, and I probably always will go through them. But ain't no reason why you got to go through them. Ain't no reason why you got to be new to the whole situation. So I'm sitting here for that, and I'm sitting here like everybody else. Like, I got a YouTube channel. I feel like I might as well build this up instead of building up my motherfucking Instagram where I got 20,000 followers and that shit don't make you no fucking bread. You know what I mean? I'd rather get some advertisements and engage people talking and have some clear-cut content that's just straight to the people and build up my following that way. So I'm here right along with niggas. But my aim is different. What I'm trying to do from it is different. What I'm trying to get from it is different. You know what I mean? Like, people gotta learn how to be careful speaking on grown motherfuckers you don't know. And I know sometimes the internet make you think you just talking to the nigga in the video, but you gotta remember the people in the video is just trying to talk a certain kind of way and present you a thing, a look, and everything where they are coming off in a way that you can understand and makes you comfortable. I say that to say that same person might not talk that way or be that way as soon as they turn the motherfucking camera off. They might really be with the shits. You don't know who you talking to, what they do, what they get into, and who they be around. So you should always just be careful about how you talking about shit and who you're talking about. You can have a conversation about the most gangster niggas in the world without calling them bitches and hoes and faggot niggas and all kinds of weird shit and wishing they get beat up and shot and all kinds of strange, just outlandish, crazy shit. You know what I mean? And as black people, we gotta stop doing that anyway, bro. 90% of our content is about these niggas not liking these niggas, and these people having more than these people, and this girl being better than this girl, and this girl smarter than this girl. Everything that we do is a motherfucking competition, and we just competing with ourselves. And anytime somebody gets into the next level competition, we end up trying to tear them down. And then as soon as something happens, here comes everybody with sensational headlines talking about their media and they gotta report the shit. Nah, bruh. Some shit you don't gotta report, man. Some shit you just don't talk about, man. Some shit you talk about it. But even if you felt like any one of these people that we talking about, you know, right now I'm just using the Dave East, the Faison Love, and the JoJo Capone thing, because that's really the biggest things. But it's like, if you feel like Faison's a fake-ass blood, just see that shit when you see that nigga. because you don't know who this nigga soldiers are. You don't know if he active or not active. He could tell you on camera he's not active. That would be the smart thing to do. But you don't really know what it is once you hang up this phone and turn off the fucking internet and turn off the camera. Motherfucker might be, and I'm not saying it's him. I'm just saying anybody. People be talking to the eggs and talking to the on Twitter. You don't get the profile. It's just an unhatched egg. Motherfuckers be on there talking to that shit like these niggas is trash and it's not a person right there. I see YouTube people in the comments just talking reckless of people. Oh, you only got 200 followers. That's definitely somebody, or 200 subscribers. That's definitely a person. That's definitely a person who bought a phone. They put a fucking email address in the phone, told them this is how they use that shit, and they signed up for all this little shit. And that's what they do. They not trying to go through the settings and add a picture and do all this other shit. Like, the videos work. They could comment. They could see shit. That's how they rolling. Y'all be talking shit to these people like these niggas might not be the cops. Or they might not be the ops. Or it might not be your fucking neighbor. Or it might not be a motherfucking coworker. Or it might not be your motherfucking boss. Like, you don't know who this person is or what their screen name mean. And you just out here talking reckless. You know, niggas be talking reckless about stars and all kinds of different shit. Like, that shit right there, that's the clout chasing shit. And that kind of makes motherfuckers who do that just as much as a culture vulture as DJ Vlad and the rest of these niggas. You know, I seen people talking shit about Ice Cube and he got a real plan. And he says 100 times, I tried to talk to both sides. One side said, let's wait. The other side said, let's have a conversation. That's it. I want to still propose it to the other side too. Niggas out here calling them all kinds of sellouts and bitches and coons, and he's an undercover operative and all this other weird ass shit other than it's motherfucking Ice Cube, bro. Like, I don't really get it, man. I don't get it. Like, people try to do things and help and be a part of shit, and motherfuckers feel some kind of way. Niggas don't want to help you and don't want you to be a part of shit. Niggas still feel some kind of way. Motherfuckers get out here because they feel some kind of way. They want to get online, and the people, the incoming shit makes them feel good. So now they want to talk about how everybody else is in the way and make money on everybody else's stories and glorify everybody else fucked up times. Like, some of these guys might be fighting parole. Some of these guys might be home on parole. And you just out here recklessly talking and saying all this other shit. That's a form of snitching too. You know what I mean? Like, long story short, man, I could just shake my head, man. Long story short, we in this pandemic. You know what I mean? We sitting at home. I know you're trying to find ways to make residual income. I know you at home trying to figure out how to get some more bread. I know you might have been home long enough to say, or you're an essential worker and you're looking for a way to go home. You're looking for a way to try to break into putting out content and different things. I hope y'all pay attention and it wasn't too all over the place. Because my mind's racing 100 miles a minute right now. I hope it wasn't too all over the place and you could just really kind of follow. You know what I mean? Don't be a clout chaser. Don't do it. It's pretty see-through. And you think motherfuckers don't see it, but people see it. And when people tell you, you're not going to be able to hear it because you in it, but people see it. You know what I mean? Mind your business. Number 2 is mind your business. Do you think that I don't think you would have to repeat that. Like, if a motherfucker seen you do some shit, that's a whole nother story, man. That's a whole nother story. Matter of fact, I don't even want this video to go long. Like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the notification bell, all that shit. You know, we'll continue this talk another day. I don't want to get off in too many tangents. I'm going to just leave it where we was at. Another day, another dollar. It's O.T.G.